The road that you see here is destroyed due to earthquake in Japan, and this is the same road 6 days later. Japanese are extremely good with technology and infrastructure that they can build a whole brand new road in just 6 days of destruction. Japan has been a pioneer of lot of things such as Sony Walkman, bullet trains, and don't get me started on the automobiles. Japan, which was once on road to overtake United States as most powerful country in the world, whereas now it is struggling to get economic growth. Japan is spiraling towards deflation and negative economic growth. What happened to Japan? And what are the major reasons behind its downfall? Will they ever come back from this financial crisis? And what impact does this have on the rest of the world? Come, let's find out in this video. In 1980s to 1990s, Japanese growth was called as Japanese miracle. Their growth averaged to 6.8% per year in this period. Their GDP grew 8 times and the real estate prices skyrocketed. And then the bubble burst. The Japanese index went burst, many companies filed for bankruptcy and their economic growth went for a toss. Japan could not recover from this economic slowdown till date, and the country is spiraling towards something called as deflation. Well, we heard about inflation. The whole world keeps complaining about inflation and rising prices. But what is deflation? Well, if you guessed deflation is opposite of inflation, then you are right. Deflation is the decrease in general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. But isn't that good? If the prices of goods are falling, then everyone will be happy to buy it, right? Well, people might be happy, but it's not good for the economy. In a normal economic cycle, if there is a product worth $10, then the consumers expect for the product price to rise further. Because of their expectation from the prices to go up, consumers choose to buy the product now instead of later. This will bring the companies more money, their sales will increase, so as their revenue. Because of this, new jobs are created in the economy. Now, in the deflationary environment, if the same product costs $10 now, then the people will be waiting for the product prices to go down further because of the deflationary environment. The consumers will be waiting for further reduction of prices in the future. So this causes a lot of people to wait and buy the product in future rather than buying it now. This leads to less sales, less revenue, less job creation, and overall the economy will fall down. So a little inflation is always good for any economy. Many countries keep inflation targets at the start of any financial year. So deflationary environment is worse than inflation. But why didn't Japan get out of this? They have been in deflationary environment for 2 decades now. There are some major reasons for this. Aging population is a very big problem in Japan. Japan has one of the oldest population in the world. The average age in Japan is around 49 years. 1 in every 10 people in Japan is 80 years old. Whereas comparing this to other countries, Africa has the youngest population with an average age of 20 years and India has an average age close to 28 years. Due to Japan's aging population, the working individuals are decreasing day by day, and this has caused massive labor shortage in Japan. Also, since the population is aging, the healthcare and pension costs are increasing and mounting day by day on the government. Also, there is a huge reduction in consumer spending. Older individuals generally spend less than younger ones. Especially high ticket items like cars, houses are purchased less by the older individuals than the younger ones. This reduction in consumer spending is leading to slower economic growth, though sometimes Japan seems like living in the future, but for some things Japan is really backward till this day. For example, Honko is a stamp that they use in place of signature on contracts, invoices or official documents. There is a joke that goes, how does someone knows that the person is working for a Japanese company? That is, if they have fax numbers on their cards. I know it's a bad joke. Japanese are so set in their old ways that even if the Honko touches the document line even a teeny bit, then they do the whole document again. That's so less productivity. Recently, Japan's digital minister said that for some government procedures today, they are still required to submit the application in a floppy disk. I haven't heard that word for a very long time. Japan is located along Pacific Rings of Fire, a seismically active zone, making it highly prone to earthquakes. Japan has approximately 110 volcanoes, out of which 47 are continuously monitored because of their potential to erupt. Even now, Japan issued a warning of a mega earthquake of 7.1 magnitude that can cause a lot of damage. Listening to all this, one question arises: will they ever come back to the track of economic growth? Well, there is a partial good news. As of mid-2024, Japan has started experiencing inflation. The inflation in Japan has rose to 2.8%. This was driven by factors such as end of energy subsidies, increased costs in sectors like electricity. I said partial good news. The inflation did not increase because of the increase in purchasing power of Japanese. The government does not have enough money to fund the subsidies that they have been giving till now. The root core of Japan's problem is their aging population and closed door towards immigrants. Japan is paying 1 million yen to the families who have kids, and they are also paying families to move out of Tokyo. Tokyo is the only densely populated city in Japan. People move to Tokyo in search of better opportunities, good education, etc., and leaving the old people in countryside. Since the birth rate is so low, many small businesses do not even have inheritors there. The business owners are looking for people to run their businesses after they are gone. This is a clip of American citizen who moved to Japan recently.
Lots and lots of local businesses that do not have successors. And as long as you have the basic business skills, some experience, the language capability, you can actually apply to take over someone's original business.
Japan is extremely rigid and closed to society. The immigrant population is less than 3% there. So Japan has decided to ease out immigrant laws so that immigrants would come there and work and start their own families in Japan. Also, the Japanese markets and currencies are widely used and monitored all across the world. The recent Nikkei index crash on August 5th was one of the most significant single-day decline in its history. This was due to appreciation of yen against the US dollar. And most of the investments involving carry trade, where investors borrowed in low interest rate currencies like Japanese yen to invest in higher yielding assets elsewhere. Due to the appreciation of yen to the US dollar, the profits of those carry trades diminish and hence the market crash. This causes a lot of imbalance in the markets. So this was the case of Japanese crisis. The rest of the world can take very important lessons from this age-old crisis. I hope you understood the ongoing crisis in Japan. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next. Bye.